So in the last tutorial, I showed you how to set up the graphics for the penguin animation. So hopefully you have your penguin and a background all set for animation. If you did not already make your penguin a symbol, you are going to make your penguin a symbol now. So you just click on the graphics, or you can click on the keyframe to select, and then you modify, convert to symbol, and then you would name your symbol and just, again, make sure it's graphic. Okay, mine is already a symbol. I can tell that because I have it in this blue box here. I see it in my library, and I can see the display of it up here. So I know that's already a symbol. So when we animate, we are going to animate in the nested timeline. This is what the whole goal of this animation is, to start practicing using the nested timeline, and in other words, that is the timeline within the symbol. So right now we're in the scene timeline, okay? When I double click on this symbol, you'll see here's the symbol name, penguin, and then it brings me to a whole new timeline. Okay, so in this animation we're practicing animating within a symbol's timeline and then using some looping options, which we'll get to later in the tutorial. So all I'm going to do is a simple animation of the wings flapping up and down here. So I'm going to press F6 on keyframe 3 here so that I can, I'm going to give it about 2 frames per movement. And I'm going to go into the free transform tool and click on the wing. Now, when you use the free transform tool on the wing, hopefully you made the wing a separate object from the rest of the body so it can easily rotate back and forth. And I did talk about that in the setup animation to make it a separate object from the rest of the body. Now, when you use the free transform tool, there's this white circle in the middle, and wherever that white circle is, the object will rotate around. So you can see right now it's rotating around the center because that's where the white circle is. I can also take this white circle and move it, so I can move it up to where the joint would be at the elbow, and now we can really easily animate this by just move it out a little bit more. Press F6, move it out a little bit more. Okay, and let's see, so there we go. Now, if I scrub through the timeline to the end, you can see I only have the up position. I'm going to press F5 to give that 2 frames. Now I'm going to copy and paste the same frames that we did and reverse them so that I could have the down movement. Obviously, I could just keep doing what I'm doing. Press F6, bring the wing down. Press F6, bring the wing down. We could do that, but just to show you a new skill. So to copy frames, you're going to click on the first frame, hold Shift, click on the last frame. Okay. I haven't let go of the Shift button yet. I'm letting go of it right now. Okay. So when you want to select multiple frames, you click on the first, hold Shift on the keyboard. While holding Shift, you click on the last one. Okay. Now, I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy frames. Now, I'm going to click on the next open frame to select it. Then I'm going to right click and paste frames. Okay, so now you can see I have those frames pasted. But it's the same exact thing. So I want to reverse them, so now the wings are going down instead of up. So I'm going to select those frames again. Remember, I'm holding Shift on the keyboard. Right click and reverse frames. So now it reversed those frames, so I have an up and a down. Okay? So hopefully as you're watching this, you're watching a little bit, pausing, trying it yourself, watching a little bit, pausing, trying yourself. If you watch the whole thing and then try and do it, you're going to get lost because there's quite a bit of information here. So now I'm done with my timeline animation. I'm going to go into the scene. And you can see the penguin disappears after 1 frame. That's because I need to extend it, just like I've done with my background. I'm going to extend it F5 to frame 100. And you'll see the cool thing about animating in a nested timeline or the symbol timeline is that it will keep looping that animation over and over and over, and all I had to do was animate it one time going up and down. So it saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of it just keeps your timeline a lot neater, okay? Because look at this, very clean extended timeline. If I go into here, imagine if I had to do this all to frame 100, it'd be a mess. So now I want to show you another thing with a property of symbols. So I have this one penguin. Say I want another penguin. I can click into my library, drag another penguin out, and now I have two penguins. I could click and drag another one out. Okay, I could make him smaller if I wanted. So I could change the size, and it's still going to work the same way. Okay. Now, say I wanted one of these penguins to have a bow tie. If I double click into the symbol and change it, watch what's going to happen. Oops. Watch what's going to happen to all of the symbols. You can see that I only changed it on frame 1, so it's only popping up on frame 1. But you can see that for all of it'll change, whatever you do to it, it's going to change it to all of them. So I'm going to just go back. And did I get rid of it? Yeah. What I'm going to do, because I want to make a change, is I'm going to duplicate the symbol so that it doesn't affect every single one. So I'm going to right click, duplicate, penguin copy, that's fine. I'm going to bring the copy out. I'm going to double click. Now I can change this symbol. I'm going to make a new layer so that the bow tie goes throughout the whole loop. And a little bit of a time crunch here, so I'm going to try and hurry this up. Okay, good enough for now. And now, if I play, you can see it only affects that one symbol because it is a copy of the symbol. Okay, so it saved all the animation, but it's only a copy. The last thing I want to show you is some of them are already set, so the looping options are different because I am using graphics I already started. But if you click on a symbol, if you go into the properties box at the bottom, there's looping options. So you want it to say loop because I do want it to keep flapping over and over. But you can change the frame that it starts on. So right now this one's starting at 4 and the others are starting on 1. Okay, so you can see that these 3 are flapping in unison and this one is a little bit different because it starts on frame 4. So say I want this one to start on frame 2. I can change that to 2. Maybe I want this one to start on frame 3. Okay, so then they'll all start on a slightly different pose so that they're not flapping all at the same time in unison. Okay, so with your projects, try and take a couple penguins onto the stage, try and duplicate a symbol so that you can change one of them, and try and play around with the looping options in the properties box. Okay, and of course you're welcome to add your own creativity to this project. When you're done, you will export and submit in the appropriate places.